Michelle Tuning. I'm the chair for the Small Business Committee for the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce, and we're here tonight to award Randy and the NC Beer Factory as the Small Business of the Month for January 2025. They are located on Highway 301 near Rocky Mount Radiator. Randy, tell us a little bit about NC Beer Factory.
Well, we're just a nice place to come hang out after work or on the weekend. We don't have any customers. We just have friends and family. We appreciate everybody who comes out and want it to be a nice, safe place to come have a good conversation. We're promoting our front room this year, trying to get it going. We can host up to about 50, 60 people up there. So if you got a small event, come on out and book our front room.
Randy, you've got space outside. Tell us about that for the weather, unlike what we're experiencing today.
Well, normally we're kind of consider ourselves an outdoor venue. We're in a big garage at the moment, or a factory warehouse, as the case may be. We usually have the big door open. It opens up to a 40 by 40 patio with plenty of furniture. We've got 3 grills you can use. So we don't do food, but you're welcome to bring food or bring stuff and cook out. We have a fire pit out there. We've got some games out there. It's a really good time for friends and family to come hang out.
Talk to us about your beer.
Well, beer's beer, and
I've heard that.
We just kind of play around. We make a lot of good beers, or so I've been told. We run everything from a light beer to a dark beer and everything in between. If you don't like something, tell me what you like, and we'll try and make one for anybody and everybody.
Custom-made beer. That's
custom made.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
Most of the beers have a story to go with them.
What's your favorite? What's your personal favorite?
Well, Fat Albert is probably my beer. I've been making that the longest, but the factory favorite, I have to say, and she'll kill me if I don't, is Miss Batty Lash. She's in the crowd tonight. That's Irish for crazy lady. Because, she swore she'd never drink any of my beer. It took me a couple of months, and she finally found one she'd drink, and so I named it after her as the crazy lady. So.
Your claim to fame. Well, we're mighty proud of you, and I think it's really special that you decided to do this independently, and it's enjoying a really great reputation. But thank you for all you do to make our area, the Rocky Mount Greater area, a more fun and entertaining place to live, work, and play.
Well, I do want to highlight that we are a veteran-owned and operated business, and we really have a heart for the vets, firefighters, first responders, EMS guys. So if you're out there hearing that and you're looking for a place to hang out, vets are more than welcome along.
That's wonderful. Thank you, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome. We have got Roxanne Langloss and Randy, your husband, who is the partner in North Carolina or Nash County or NC Beer Factory, is a little bit under the weather, but we are delighted to have you.
Oh, thank you.
And
thank you.
This is just an incredible venue that you and he have brought to Rocky Mount.
We've kind of brought a really casual, nice place to hang out. We give the community a safe place to come in and discuss what they want, meet new friends. They come in as guests and they leave as friends. So we have been very blessed here. It's like an expanded garage.
Oh yeah, but you've added on as it seems like as you've seen the need, or as people want like an outdoor venue and corn tossing.
Yes, we have a wonderful outdoor venue, especially in season. We even have a fire pit, so those cooler nights we can have people out. On the backside, we have bocce ball, which is kind of new here in Rocky Mount. We have cornhole, and we also have horseshoes for the standard people, and it's kind of a grass gravel venue. There's cafe lights. That's my favorite part of the tap room. And then we have our front event center, and we usually sit between 40 and 50 people there for family reunions, birthdays. We even had a wedding reception.
Wow. So people can call and say, I've got X number of people and I'd like to use your front area, and you will reserve it for them.
We do. You do.
And you even have food trucks here come occasionally, don't you?
We do. We try to get them to come often. A lot of times it depends on the weather, but Friday nights are always a good night for food trucks.
Karaoke?
And karaoke on the third Friday of every month. And then we also have people, restaurants that deliver here.
Oh,
So you can
good.
actually order a pizza and have it delivered, or a sandwich.
So you don't do food here?
We do not do food here.
Yet.
No. So yeah, there's always a need. So yeah, but right now we have multiple places that will come in, or you can bring your own food. We do have grills. So if
Oh.
somebody would like to bring their dinner and their family, play outside, and they can grill their own dinner. Yes, and
That's
then
wonderful.
of course share a wonderful craft beer with everybody here.
Well, let's talk about the craft beer. Your husband has a wonderful military, thank you so much, background.
Yes.
Yeah, folks, they were high school sweethearts who reconnected later, like 10 years ago. You got married?
We got connected about 13, 14 years ago. High school was longer than that ago for us, so about 30 years in between. But yes, we were high school sweethearts, and he left for the military. I went on to college, and then 30 years later or so, before Facebook, just let you know that, we ran into each other again. He had traveled the world, and we were actually in the same state at the same time for a couple of years. But when we connected again, I was living on the West Coast and he was here on the East Coast.
San Diego, right? Wow.
Yes, right
How
outside of San
beautiful is
Diego.
that?
Yes, it was very
Oh.
nice. Traffic was horrible,
Yeah.
but the weather was nice, and the weather's wonderful here too.
Well,
But,
and
I do
you
enjoy
just-
the beach.
How did you decide to stay on the East Coast then? I mean, we're just Rocky Mount because if there
We
was no
chose.
roots here.
Everybody has a problem with this. We actually chose Rocky Mount to retire in. So my husband was up in Maryland. He wanted to stay in the Mid-Atlantic, and think about it: beautiful weather. We can go to the beach. We can go to the mountains. We've really enjoyed Nash County.
And people like beer here too. I mean, you can tell that from Rocky Mount Mills and whatnot that we
Yes.
are a beer drinking area. Although it was Randy's son that came home from college making beer. He's a chemistry major. In fact, has a PhD from Duke.
He
at
does
this
have a
point.
PhD from Duke in chemistry. And when he was an undergrad, he started brewing beer. And, Dad, I want to brew beer. And Dad goes, no, I'm paying for your college. You need to, find a niche for yourself. And so now his son is a PhD working with the government. And Randy's the one that's brewing the beer. He enjoyed it so much. He retired finally about 3 years ago. And he just didn't have a hobby. He doesn't golf, he doesn't fish, and I would not allow him to stay home with me. So he had to go and find something to do. And when he chose to, because I always enjoyed brewing beer, and we just kind of expanded his garage out here. Now we have a patio, we have front room for parties. Yes, we've been very blessed. This has been great for us.
And he was in two branches of the military, correct?
Yes, he was enlisted and then became an officer in the Air Force, 21 years. And then he was a Navy civilian for 17 years, as well as some other aspects of the Armed Forces and the Department of Defense.
Like
So,
saying
yes.
that love of military, it just permeates, which we love. I mean, people in this area are extremely grateful for and supportive of the military. But talk about the various aspects that you've woven the military into this business.
We are veteran-owned, veteran-operated. We have a table of honor for those people who didn't make it back, and we always keep that there. We do a lot of events for veterans. We have done the Quilt of Valor, which basically kind of gives a warm hug to those who had served, and we were able to give away 7 of those last fall to retired military people.
Who makes those, the quilts?
There's a group that does it, and the name is the Quilts of Honor.
But they're
I know-
not made locally, right?
Well, actually, one of the gentlemen, Dale, he actually does the quilting, and I'm not
good.
sure what percentage is all, whether it's all local quilters or not. I'm afraid I do not have that information, but I know a lot of it's done here. And then we were given. It's a nationwide project.
And golly, heaven knows we need to support our veterans, don't we? I mean, nobody is.
We do a lot of things for our veterans. The Ride of Honor is big, impactful. It's done with the Harley Davidson shop here. We do the ride-in. Pruitt Foundation has done a fantastic job with promoting it, and we had well over 100 bikes And then they came in, they donated the money to ride. And then we had sponsorships. We raised over $25,000 that
Oh,
goes
wow.
back to veterans. And then they also do something that's called Camp Cocoon, which is for grieving children. And they give them a day of camp that they can enjoy and sing, ride horses, swim. And believe there's some counseling there also, whether they're military or not.
Well, we have to talk about this sweetheart right down here. You're a big fan of dogs, aren't you?
Yes, we do puppies and pints, which is done once a month with a rescue local. We try to stay here. We have a number of rescues that come. Friends of Rocky Mountain Animals is probably our biggest supporter. We actually have gotten a puppy from them. So now we have 3 because I need 3 dogs.
Of course
Molly
you do.
is our greeter.
That is the sweetest dog.
She is a wonderful pup. She'll greet you. She'll come in. She'll lay by your feet. We welcome dogs, preferably vaccinated and on leashes.
Oh, yeah.
You'll occasionally see ours running around if there's no other puppies in the area. And she pretty much runs the place.
But
She's
she's
the owner.
very humble. I mean, she's got a real humility or humble nature about her. I mean, she just came right up. Nobody would do anything but want to pet her and take her home, sneak her out the back door. Or
Well, you know,
something.
we had a few people offer, but I think we'll keep her around for a little longer.
Oh,
She's
definitely.
kind of our logo.
And you do, not only do you have adoption events here, but you help financially with Friends of Rocky Mountain Animals. Let's talk about chili contest coming up here.
Very
And
excited about that.
Good.
We really try to give back to our community and whatever we can do.
Mm-hmm.
We do give back. Next month, Sleep in Heavenly Peace, we'll be donating the money from our chili cook-off. The 22nd of February, please come by.
Mm-hmm.
It costs you $5 to taste all the chilies. And then if you want to vote more than once, you just keep on giving to the charity. So not a problem. We're also going to be doing...
in other words, you can buy votes.
you can buy votes. Well,
But
we
it's
have
all
to,
for a good cause.
It's
right?
all for a good cause. We do have judges that will have a judge's choice and then a people's choice. And then we're doing something for Samaritan's Purse in March. We'll be having fundraising then.
And that's money that's going to go up to help the hurricane victims.
Yes,
in the
it'll be
mountains.
here in North Carolina. Yes.
And Meals on Wheels, y'all donate the beer for that? Is
We
that
do.
right?
They have another one event at the mills where we bring beer. We donate our beer. We do them. We've done Boys and Girls Club when they do a beer fest. We've gone and worked with the police department here in Rocky Mountain. It's called Cover the Cruiser, where you buy and stick a cruiser shape on the, and we do this for Special Olympics, and we do the North Carolina branch of Special Olympics. Matter of fact, we had some of the torch runners here.
Oh, you did?
Yes, that
Oh,
we go
good.
through and do that.
And Toys for Tots?
Toy for Tot, we had a great turnout this year. This is our first year with Toys for Tots. And we are very thankful for our patrons and our friends who brought stuff for them.
Well, as we look around the room, you sell T-shirts. I bet a lot of people want to advertise your business around town. So,
Oh, these are kind of fun, fundamental beer kind of stuff. We do have our own, which is back here. So we have hats. We have, let me sell you something. We have T-shirts, we have hats, we have pint glasses, we have koozies. So yes, we do try to promote and would love to have you take some of our logo stuff with you. So we also do jewelry. And
Oh.
that's kind of my little in. So I've got just a couple cases of there, just fun stuff.
you're GIA certified, right? And
Yes.
you taught it?
I taught at
actually?
GIA and I'm a graduate gemologist.
Well, and I want to say, I asked you if you knew Trey Bailey from Bailey's Jewelers because he was
Great
a friend of my
people.
son's growing up. And she actually trained Trey and Marcy, who live in Raleigh and run the Baileys there. for
At
Pride
school,
now.
I was a teacher. I haven't
Yeah.
trained them their whole life, but yes, I was part of the educational process.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
wonderful. This is the bar. You've got a hallway. I love the pictures. You've got 2 framed pictures of people having a good time here.
Oh, we take snap pictures. When we have events or something like that, and we have kind of a wall of shame where we have all of our friends up there, whether it's by the fire pit, whether it's St. Patty's Day, whether they got their new adopted puppy. Just some fun things to share. We have a customer who's actually dresses up like the Grinch.
Oh,
And he comes every Christmas. Matter of fact, he does the lightings at the mill. But we have some fun pictures of him, and I got to be his little elf once or something like
well,
that.
and looking in this room, the big tanks, fermentation, I mean, does each of those have a different flavor
The-
beer in it, or
The first one's actually a water tank, and believe it or not, we do use Rocky Mountain water. We run it through as osmosis, so we purify it, and we kind of give it a little fun name of beer water for anybody who wants to have just the water. So the first tank is our fermentation, our purification tank, and the other two are 5-barrel fermentation tanks, and that's what you'd put your beer in to let it rest and to ferment to make the sugars into alcohol and so on. So we have inside that door over there, we also have another barrel system. So where we try to do as much locally as we can. We get our grain here in North Carolina, and then we'll actually grind it, we'll mash it, then we boil it, and it comes to a temperature. It's a whole system, and my husband loves it and knows it well, and I know about that much of it.
I was going to say, do you help him? You do flavors for the season too. I heard that you had like a pumpkin type flavor during the fall.
We've had a fall fest. It wasn't really a pumpkin, but it has kind of fall flavors. We've done cranberry. We had an association with Weldon Mills where we put our beer in their barrels. So it was barrel aged bourbon beer. And that was really fun. We do we have Happy Cows in North Carolina. We do give our grain to a local farm.
Happy cows.
Happy Cows. So they give the grains to their farm animals, and we call them Happy Cows because they get some of the grain and alcohol left.
I understand that. Your husband has a great background too. When he was in the military, he took advantage of getting lots of degrees, and I think he even has an MBA, so he has some business background.
He does. He went to London to finish that off. So yes, he did. He took advantage of that. He was in it for a long time, and he had lots of opportunities.
How great that y'all got back together. Was that, and no Facebook or anything?
That was before Facebook.
reconnected?
I tells you how old I am. But yeah, it was kind of funny. We had to commute cross country. Our parallels in life really surprised. Now, he was military, but he did a briefing. So he did a lot of talking to people and explaining processes we can't talk about. And I worked in a more technical gemological field where I would teach that. I was an instructor for 7 years, and then I would go out and speak to my trade. So between the two of us, we had favorite hotel lines, we had favorite airlines, and a year and a half of going back and forth between each coast.
We are so glad that you chose Rocky Mount to come here. Before we wrap, any plans for the future that you can point to?
We are expanding our front room, our event room. We're changing the whole vibe. We've got some new furniture in, and we're going to make it kind of a little more of a lounge lizard, kind of fun. We're doing wine tasting there. Randy loves beer. I'm a wine snob, so we usually have a little higher.
From California, that makes sense, don't you think?
Yeah, and
tell us for people, because you sent me the address, but be specific on how people can find you.
we're at 500 South Wesleyan Boulevard, and we're in between Rocky Mountain Radiators and People's
Building Supply.
Yes, People's Building Supply. So there's a bunch of houses that are all alike, and we're kind of
And
in
you've
the
got
middle.
lots of signage out front. So,
We try.
and what days and what hours are you open?
We're open Thursday, 4 to 10, Friday, 4 to 10-ish, 2 to 10 on Saturday. A lot of times if the group's out there at the bonfire or sitting here talking, it's not always a sharp closing time. And then we're open on Sundays from 2 to 7.
And you're available for events and people.
Yes,
want
we're
to schedule
available
an
for
event.
events. 252-969-BEER, 2337. So
Roxanne, this has been so much fun.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I've enjoyed you coming.
Well, good.
We've
Well, I
had
look
a fun
forward to
time.
seeing more of you. And,
All
and
right.
thank you
Stop
for
on
joining us.
by.
And congratulations for being Small Business of the Month.
We had such a great time.
Great.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.